Oh, and here we go. 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 People, I'm here. I'm back. Um, my battery was not dead, but I don't want it dying in the race, so I decided to wait for their final laps. In the meantime, you guys were watching the Ferraris. Another good display from the Ferraris. 2 and 3 currently on the grid, and these guys, this Ferrari resurgence has been the best I've ever seen. Where was this at the start of the season? That's a team that could have competed for constructors for sure if they had been performing like this from the very start. You will expect them to be up there with the likes of Visa Abi and ourselves at Kickstarter fighting for a title. It's too late now, but it's never too late for them to recover a respectable place in the constructors. Because at the end of the season, they could finish in the top four or the top five, if I'm not mistaken, depending on how other teams do. And it's actually respectable finishing in the top five in a league like this. It's not easy to bring a team together and get everyone on board trying to help a team. It's a since the draft since drafting and TPs were introduced to this league, it has become a very team orientated league. Because when I first arrived, and there was nothing like TPs, people just got wheeled into teams. No one could care less about performing for their team. People just came in to drive for themselves and for their own egos. But once TPs and drafting and everything was added, and TPs actually had to pick the drivers, I think more people started taking it seriously. Like, okay, now that I'm being picked, I probably have to take it seriously. That he actually, decided to call my name to join his team. So I can't just go out there and be an absolute ponce. But Iron Shin goes up to P5 for the 144 one. I'm quite surprised seeing a 143 in tier 3, especially a 143 flat from Pax. He won the first race of the season, and we expected Pax to dominate throughout the season, but that wasn't the case. He's currently in P. Well, let me pull up the standings. I have my phone with me here. Let's see. Pax is currently. They have 3 minutes to go, so they'll all be doing their final lap very soon. Pax is currently down in P6, and he's 41 points behind his teammates. But this championship could be won by anyone all the way down to Port Washington P8, 57 points behind the champion. Remember that we have final double points on the final day, and we still have 3 races to go for tier 3. This one and the next two. So anybody could still win the championship. We still have 8 drivers in contention to win the championship this season. In mathematical contention, not normal contention to win the championship. Predictions. Who do you guys think is going to be your champion? Who do you want to be your champion? I want Batman or Pax to be my champion for sure. If it's not Batman or Pax, I want probably Cowley to win it because I'm good mates with Cowley. But if it's not any of my drivers, I would like to see the House of Cowley win it. He can still win it with a few rounds to go in this one. Never count him out. It's also one of the drivers that has the pace when he wants to have that pace. But Shazam with no wing is going to begin his final lap of the session. They're all going to begin their final laps of the session. So let's see who's going to get pole here. And the final 3 rounds for the championship decider. Pax already leads the way with the provisional pole position. He wants to mount this championship fight. He's not going to make it easy for his teammates for sure. And we will see that Batman will start his final lap now. The Aston Martin will also start his final lap of the session. Fratello, one of the new drivers in Tier 3. I like his name. He's an Italian guy, Fratello. We'll see when we get to know him more. Pax in the Kicksauber will begin his lap. Using a lot of ERS going down to turn 1. You don't really want to use that much, especially in a long track like Spa. I don't think you need ERS going down to turn 1. Here you want to use as much ERS as till you get to I believe 60% once you go up the hill. Exactly. Then you squirt a bit here, like 2%, then you do not use any. You squirt a bit here with the ERS, then you stop at 45, maybe 45, but he's going deeper. And you do not use any ERS in this sector. This is where you recharge because you're going to have to push for the final corners of the track. The Ferrari will be starting his final lap. He's just 6 tenths behind the pole sitter. His teammate is closer to the pole sitter, so we'll see if he can grab it from Pax. Toberito on his final lap, all his deploy used. He is improving on his time, but where exactly will he go in? Because it's a line and it's P10 for Toberito up to the top 10. The Haas is next. Adam the Sweet to cross the line. He's going to go up to P13. Not enough for the top 10. It's going to be Alpine next to cross the line. P7 for Wacky Racer. Red Bull of Shazam, the only Red Bull, sorry, Rotti. Red Bull of Rotti on an out lap to begin his final lap of the session. Going to head down to the Williams of Kez, who's moving out the way for the Mercedes. Which Mercedes is that? Of Mr. Piggy, who will cross the line to begin his final lap. And when Batman does cross his line, only P3 for him, 143.4. Not a bad place to be, though. His teammates still sitting provisional pole position. The Kick Saubers splitting the Ferraris, and it's Kick Sauber and Ferrari fight here. But can Pax extend his time? He can. He cannot actually. He does cross the line. He stays with the current time that he has, but he's keeping that pole position for now. But WBA Alex 4 tenths up on his time. He had a good race yesterday, finishing in P5 in a very tough Japanese Grand Prix. But the Ferrari, the reserve driver from Tier 2, is the main driver in Tier 1. And when he comes out the final corner, surely WBA is going to get Ferrari's pole position. And it's the first Ferrari pole position for the week. A week that they have absolutely dominated. And WBA puts the cherry on top of the cake with a beautiful pole position that surely no one else can beat that time. Piggy in P6, he will be improving on his time. We'll see what he does when he does cross the line. We have Toberito. Oh, he's invalidated on his time, so he's going for a final lap, but he probably can't. Quali is over. He surely cannot. And the Alpine is next to cross the line. It's going to be Wacky Racer. Deploy used down on his time, actually up on his time, right behind his teammate. The Alpines will qualify in 5 and 6. Not a bad place for them to be. It's going to be the Mercedes of Mr. Piggy. 4 tenths up on his time. Can he get the pole position? Can he steal it right at the end to continue his championship fight? No, he cannot. Only P5 for Mr. Piggy, and WBA, the only driver into the 142s, gets your pole position. Rotti will cross the line and he's validated his lap. As the Aston Martin of Fratello will be the last to cross the line, and that is that for qualifying. Forza Ferrari. Grazie ragazzi. As WBA Alex will start on the front row alongside Pax, and his teammate and Pax's teammate will be right behind them in a race that's going to be very, very interesting. Now, when we come back for racing in Tier 3 that never disappoint, we hope that it's going to be a very good one. That was a very good quali. Oh yeah, I wasn't reading the chat, guys. I'm just reading it now. I said, really, say I want a 50 championship. You will definitely love that. Is 50 still in there? Can he still win it? Yes, 50 can. He's in P5. 50 can still win this. A lot of drivers can still win this championship. WBA smashing lap. Yeah, definitely. The wheel is working for him now. Oh, is he on wheel now? Ferrari are cooking. Yep, Ferrari are absolutely cooking. They are flying. Look at them. They are joining Kick Salvas up there to know what it is to be a front-running team. It's good. It's I would say big ups to Wariner and Stephanie Luke. I think they've done a lot of job to bring the team together, and that's what we like to see. There are some certain situations where like TPs and other drivers can't really save their luck, like in McLaren this season. McLaren have had the worst luck ever from the start of the season, losing Kennedy on the first day. Like he didn't even do any race, and it has just been woeful, but it's absolutely woeful on track as the rain is pouring, and everywhere you look, it looks absolutely slippery. And we'll see what these drivers are going to do. And we'll be back in 5 minutes when we start racing. Let me go speak to my drivers real quick. That should not be happening. Maybe my headphones are messed. All right, lads, I'm back. By the way, if you're hearing the conversation between Merck and Mr. P, I'm on a call with them, as if you were hearing it. You shouldn't have been hearing it though, because I'm muted. But maybe my damn mic isn't working anymore because when I do, because I have one of those mics that you just have to close it to mute it, and I closed it, but it has been like this for like a week now, where I close my mic and it's still like he's still saying that I'm speaking, Like these headphones, I got it for $150, and they've been giving me stress since. I want to get my money back at this point. I'm just gonna go to I'll just pull up to the store I bought it and just start beating everybody up for second driver and Williams. Normal place for second driver and Williams. What do you mean? Where are you? Tabarator in P10. You guys are just finishing the end of every list. So he's at the end of the top 10 and you're at the end of the bottom 10. So it's fine. That's what Williams love to do. Kez is just enjoying himself in tier 3, man. Kez has slowly been getting better. When he first arrived, like Kez was a very questionable driver, but he's one of those drivers that you respect because, like, no matter how hard it is for him, he still races, he still shows up all the time, still finishes races. And if a lot of other drivers in this league could have that type of mentality, we'll, we'll have a lot of people finishing the season from the start to finish. I feel like a lot of people just give up after the first few races of them realizing that they're not going to be the fastest in their tier. They just give up and be like, I don't want to do this anymore. Take me down to a lower tier. I just want to win every race. Yes, Fletch needs that. Honestly, what Fletch did yesterday, I couldn't believe it. As even as a kick Sauber TP, I was like, that is ridiculous. If any of my teammates did that, especially when we were in a constructors fight, I swear to God, I'll be so pissed. I'll get it if we're not anywhere in any fight, like we're down in P7. I'll get it. You're frustrated, or I won't want you to leave because you want those points. But you're in a constructors fight with kick Sauber team that is not easy to grab points on because you have only one driver in tier 3, and tier 3 doesn't have reserves, and Pax and Batman relatively are quicker than 50. So you expect them to beat him every week. Or even if they don't finish ahead of him, like two drivers getting points, it's probably more than one driver getting points. If you know what I mean. And that's what 50 said, that people could hear you guys, but I don't know. I mean, you guys were just talking about racing, so it's alright. And my mic was muted. I don't know why you guys they could hear you, but I think my mic is sports. Even when I close it to mute it, it's still like unmuted. As long as you guys didn't say anything. As long as you guys didn't say anything bad. All right, one light, two lights, three lights, four lights, five lights ahead of the drivers. It's Spa. It's round 13. His foot to the floor and go, go, go. WBA and Paul is going to get a good start and keep that pole as Parks is going to do around the outside. Both kicks Albers make contact with the Ferrari. One of the kicks Albers is off track, making more contact with the Ferrari. There's damage there. Somebody's wing is flying off as Batman now will keep it, will get up to P2. It was Batman on the inside, and it was Parks who was on the outside there, losing the places. Both Parks and Slater in the Ferrari and the Kicksauber have dropped places at the start of this one. Azangi, oh my days! What the hell just happened there? Ferrari out of the race. Out of the race. Another driver out of the race. So much is going on. And they were like 4 wide going into that corner. Definitely that's going to be a safety car. Definitely that's going to be a safety car. That's madness. As Parks is down there, his wing is absolutely destroyed. Batman has a 10-second penalty for ignoring yellow flags. 10-second penalty for Adam the Sweet. And it's absolutely chaos right at the start here at Spa. And that is not the start you want to see at all. The Ferraris are the kicks. Chaos from them, but chaos from others too at the back of the pack. I believe there were like 4 drivers going down that straight. That was absolutely crazy. Honestly. Safety car for sure. Luckily for those guys who got 10-second penalties and damage, luckily they can go into the pits and go in for inters. Get those penalties off. But it's not a great start for the Kicksauber team. Park's already down with and the Kicksauber and the Ferrari team. Park's already down to P12. Damage on his wing, he has to go into the pits. Batman has a 10-second penalty, so he has to go into the pits to take that off. Ferrari or Slater is out of the race, so no points for him at all. And that is a chaotic start. That is just crazy, man. What's up with Batman's pen? He got a 10-second penalty for ignoring yellow flags. I guess he probably overtook WBA under the safety. And sometimes he did. I noticed that in this game, sometimes you get that 10-second penalty instantly. Like the moment you overtake him, you get it. Like I've been getting that on online lobbies recently. But why isn't he going in? I don't think that's the right choice right there. I think I will go in if I was Batman. Go in, take off that 10 seconds, and just try and drive to the end with fresh inters. Because some of them probably can't take fresh inters, but maybe he's trying not to mess up his teammate. But his teammate eventually will end up at the back. So we'll see what this choice will be for Batman, our championship leader. Has that 10-second penalty. Maybe he knows he has the pace to run away from the rest of them in tier 3, and maybe that 10 seconds, when he does take off that 10 seconds, he might be in a good place coming out. But the race is just at the start. Another safety car might come out, and we'll see exactly what will happen. But Parks is going to come out in P14 right behind the McLaren, and he has a lot of work to do now. I say, what's the tires? Oh yeah, I don't know why I didn't put tires on. There we go. There's the tire situation. Everybody's on inters. I say, what's the tires? Anyone being seen around but the wets? Nah. I think everybody knows the memo now. Wets are not the thing to do in this game. I think everyone from tier 1 down to tier 3 knows. So there's no more advantage for anyone who knows. The first time we saw that inter-tier advantage was actually the first race in Mexico for tier 1. Where it rained. It rained that day, and some people started on the inters, some people started on the wets, and we quickly realized that the inters were the better choice to start on. The people who started on the wets did eventually just come into the pit like 6 laps after and went on inters, went to the end. It did actually still benefit them as they got track position on the guys who had to be on the inters for the set amount of time. But in the end, we did find out that inters were better. So I remember like a bunch of drivers around me started on the inters, and I ended up finishing ahead of literally all of them. I started on the wets because they had to extend those inters and they kept dying, and I gained time on them before they had come in for their stop. So it's a thing of if the track is wet enough, you can actually use the wets. I had to box to save it. Yeah, because me, I bought wets and dropped from first to third. I had to box to save it. Yeah, I know. I remember that. But the thing is that you can use wets. Let's say that it's just so wet that the wets will be better for the first 6 laps, and it's a short race like Spa. You can use wets for the first 6 laps, then go in earlier than everybody for the inters. That will surely see you have an undercut on them. But hopefully, when they do go in for fresh tires, you have enough pace to stay ahead of them. It is the rain, anyways, and it's very difficult to overtake. So you can actually pull off that type of strat. Starting with wets, knowing you're going to be the quickest for 6 laps, then immediately going into the pits when the inters start to kick in for your inters. But it won't work everywhere. Faster for your app. Yeah, it could be. I remember them racing at Spain for tier 3. The wets were faster for like 4 laps before Cowley started catching up. Yeah, I mean the laps are just not enough. Like I said, it has to be a short. It has to be a short race. It can't be one of those races that are like 30 something laps because you're not gonna use inters for about 30 laps. I mean, we've seen someone do that. If you remember the Aston Martin at Spain, he used his inters that he started on for like yeah, for the whole race. The race is 36 laps, isn't it? He used it for the whole race and it didn't pop. That was Randy Dan, if you guys can remember. He has left. He's one of those ones that doesn't have the cares mentality. Can this go to the end? I mean, if you can try. It's Spa, just 19 laps to go. Yes, probably can go to the end if you have fresh. So the likes of Iron Shin, Benz, Pax, Angry Badger, Adam Sweet and Cares. If it was me, I will go to the end. I will try. I will at least try to go to the end. I feel there will be another safety car. If I see that I'll do the math. Just do like 10, 11 laps, then do the math. If your calculation is enough to see that no matter what happens, your tire wear isn't going to go past 70%, I will go to the end, or 60%, I will go to the end. Track position is so important when it's wet. Let's say let's say okay, who's the first? Who went in first? Iron Shin went in. Let's say when the other guys in front of them go in, they all go in, and the 4 drivers behind Iron Shin are behind him when all those drivers go in. The drivers who just went in for fresh inters are going to have to overtake 4 drivers to get to the front. And in the rain, it's like overtaking 10 drivers in the dry. So that's why it could work in the rain to go to the end. But I don't know if it can work in dry. So like let's say you go for hards at the start of Spa, to be difficult for it to work in the dry because those tires will absolutely be dead and you'll be sliding everywhere and you can't defend. But yeah, probably not. We'll see though. We'll see what they do. It's Spa anyways. It's Spa. The tire wear here is not bad and the race is not that long. Even if the track is a long track, the race is not that long. But here we go. Batman is going to go now. He has a good space in between him and that Ferrari, so surely it's not going to be an overtake as we resume the race. But it's a good start for the top 3. Wacky Racer behind them, not the best start. There's a bit of a split between the pack. A bunch of them are still coming out of the final corner as Pac-Man is already coming out of the first corner. That's a massive split between all of them in the safety car. But Batman is going to use this opportunity now to try and pull away. Maybe this is the reason why he stayed out, because he knows he has the pace and he wants that clear air to try and pull away from the rest of the pack, knowing that he's going to have to eat that 10-second penalty. WBA behind might not have the pace that Batman has to be able to hold on to him in the wet. But we will see. The race has just resumed now. Porodon being overtaken by Iron Shin, who's going up. Pax takes on the inside on Benz, and he will move up a place. Benz losing another place to the Aston Martin, who takes that opportunity to get the move on the inside as Angry Badger will clear him. Oh, he's going to go off track there, the McLaren, and lose another place to Adam the Sweet. The view in that corner is absolutely brilliant. The helicopter view makes me see everything. 2.2 seconds away now, Batman. He just surely has the pace. So yeah, seems like he did the right call staying out, and his TP might needs to shut up. Yeah, so he's now 2.5 seconds away. So we'll see if he can pull away that 10 seconds as Pax now has to start making up the places. Another move made from Pax on the Mercedes. The second move made in the wet. He's not wasting time whatsoever. Tobarito is close to 50 gent now. Will he make the move on the Visa RB as they head down the straight? By the way, tell me guys, tell me if the onboard sounds really bad, because I can't hear anything. I don't really hear anything when I do comms. If it sounds really bad, I'll stay off board. I'll give this view for most of the race. We don't really want to be on board with the cars just screaming on high revs every time. But yeah, 2.6 seconds now. Batman clearly has the pace, and he will continue to pull away with the fastest lap now. Wacky Racer is behind Rotti, who has a little bit of the slip behind him, but Tobarito now very close to 50 gent. It's going to be putting pressure on that Visa RB. But one thing we know about that Visa RB is the composure that he has. Tobarito almost going into the back of him there. But how close to Williams is now, he surely is going to be going for a move on that Visa RB. But the question is, going up this corner, you're going to have to go as flat as you can so you have the momentum. And here comes the Williams. The Red Bull behind him also wants to go for a move. He's gaining on the Williams. He's picking the inside. Will the Williams go on the outside on the Visa RB? No, Visa RB is going to keep him behind. Shazam can't complete that move. And it looked like it was going to be an overtake galore there, but it was not enough for any of them to make up the places. UFRL Cowley now in front of the Aston Martin. There is a massive pack now behind 50 gent, and we'll see how much composure he has to keep 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars behind him. He has a massive job to do now, and this is definitely the interesting fight to watch. Visa RB versus everybody else, as the Visa RB of 50 gen knows that Tobarito wants to clear him as soon as possible. Tobarito has Shazam behind him. Simply lovely driving from the Red Bull. But Tobarito now is going to be overtaken by Shazam. A wide entry there going into that corner, and the Red Bull will overtake him. Cowley will overtake him. And Tobarito now struggling to get past 50 gent, has been overtaken by 2 drivers. But Shazam is showing a lot of pace here in the wet. Cowley slipping a bit there. That will give a chance for the Williams again to get that place back on the Haas. But back to the front as Shazam is chasing down 50 gent. Red Bull versus Red Bull. But will the sister team allow the senior boys to slide through? Or does it feel as Batman now gets another fastest lap, 2 minutes quickest lap on track? As now Shazam right behind his junior team car of the Visa RB. The Visa RBs, who have been the leading Red Bull of the season, is going to have to defend from the chasing Red Bull as almost into the wall Shazam there. But now they're going to head down to a route around Dion. And can Shazam finally clear 50 gent? He needs to do so if he feels like he has that all aboard the 50 gent train. Yep, he needs to do so if he feels like he has the pace to get past 50 gent. But here he comes down the straight, round the outside. 50 gent is going to pick the defensive line. Shazam can make that overtake, and 50 gent is going to keep him behind once again. But there's moves being made at the back. The Alpine tried it on the inside. Pax will get past the Aston Martin of Fatu, who went wide there and lost the place to the Kick Sauber, as there's 10-second penalty for Bent for crossing the pit line. Oh my god, I didn't even know you could get a 10-second penalty for doing that. What the hell? He gets a 10 penalty for crossing the pit line exit, but I feel like he's done it multiple times. Because usually when you do that, they give you a warning. But Pax now into P11, and he made that pace on the Aston Martin. The Iron Shane in the Alpine trying to move on Tobarito, making contact with him. But what's going on here? Is that Wacky Racer that's lost places? Or is that Piggy making up places? I don't know what's happening in front. But Shazam now still stuck behind 50 gent. Rotti very close to the Mercedes now. And coming out of this corner, he needs the better exit and entry. But he's not going to get that. The Alpine behind going onto the gravel. So he's going to lose time to Rotti in front. Shazam Another opportunity for him. What can 50 Gent do? Can he keep Shazam behind? Yes, it looks like he's going to. Shazam is trying all he can. He's giving all he can from that car, pushing it to the limit. But 50 Gent is still going to stay ahead. 3-second penalty for Angry Badger. Behind Cowley's under pressure from Toberito. He wouldn't go for the move. Angry Badger gets overtaken by his teammate now. Another fastest lap from Batman. But Iron Shin is behind Toberito. Shazam is still stuck behind the absolute brick wall of 50 Gent. But now with the switchback, he has the momentum heading up to Rouge and Radion. Can the Red Bull finally clear the Visa RB? And there's no team orders here at all. That's two separate teams, but with the same names. But as they head down the straight, Shazam might finally be able to clear 50 Gent. 50 will pick that defensive line once again. Shazam and Cowley are going to be pushing on him, but 50 can still stay ahead. And this is defensive masterclass. As Cowley picks the inside and make a little bit of contact, 50 can use the opportunity now to pull away from them. And it's absolutely brilliant. 50 giving us entertainment here. And we're just going to stick with him for the rest of the race. It doesn't look like anything else is happening in front. Toberito very close to Iron Chain now. And the wall continues. 50 Gent still keeping these 6 drivers behind. And he's an absolute legend for this. As Parks gets a 3-second penalty, it's clear now that he's struggling to be behind them as he has damage on his wing. It seems like he might have gotten damage on his wing fighting with someone around him. 50 Gent though is absolutely cooking in this race. How long can he keep Shazam behind though is the question. I don't believe he can do this for as long as the race has to go on. Shazam will eventually get past him at one point unless he makes a mistake. But 50 has been doing a great job to keep that driver behind. But they're losing time while they're fighting to Wacky Racer in front. Cowley now is going to put pressure on Shazam. But he goes a little bit wide there with the dirty air coming to that corner. But Batman will not have fastest lap. And it's clear that he has that pace. And he's using that pace to try and get away from them. He knows he has that 10-second penalty. And to run away from that penalty, he needs to do so. Parks with the damage on his car is now going to struggle to get past Toberito, who was falling out of that 1-second buffer to the drivers in front. But Shazam, another opportunity for him now. He needs that good exit to get past 50 Gent here. He's been struggling for multiple laps now, but it's been coming because as they head up the straight, he has the momentum, he has the straight line speed, but can he get past 50 Gent? He's going to use all the ERS he has stored in that car, gaining on that Visa RB, picking the inside. Is it going to be enough this time around? No, it will not. He's going to have to stick behind again. 50 Gent, absolute wall of a driver. As there's yellow flags at the back, someone is called. Oh, exactly, not yellow flags, just a glitch from the game. But another defense from 50 Gent will see him stay behind as Parks is looking for the inside on Toberito, who's struggling here. Parks is sliding, trying to flick that back end to get him that rotation that he needs. As he head to the left-hander now, he will have that momentum heading down the straight, but no, Toberito can't keep that kick Sauber behind, and they will continue their fight as Shazam is still stuck behind the biggest roadblock he's ever met in his life. Slight wide line there from 50 Gent will make Shazam gain on him, but Shazam needs to get past him, honestly. 2-0 and vibes. As if 50 must say, yeah, he must. Oh my! Finally, it's finally happened, and we knew what's coming. It's been going on for 4 laps now, and Shazam has finally cleared that roadblock of 50 Gent. The mistake coming out of that corner. See Shazam slide past him. He's going to go slightly wide there. Iron Shin on the outside of Cowley will try the move and will complete the move. Cowley's not going to make it easy for him. He's keeping that car on the inside, but Iron Shin can finish that move on Cowley behind. Shazam now has finally cleared 50 Gent, but with 50 Gent go straight back on the attack, he's showing that he has that straight line speed advantage on Shazam in front. And will that show as they head up the straight now, or will he have too much pressure from the Alpine behind, and that will see him lose another place? And Shazam has that pace now. He will try to catch up to Wacky Racer in front. He will try his best. He will do so as the Mercedes is looking for a move on WBA, but can't get that completed. Batman will continue to pull away as he's trying to extend his championship lead. At the end of this one, the Iron Shade diving down the inside of 50 Gen. 50 will hold it around the outside. Beautiful racing between those two. 50 Gen did give him the space that he needs, but he has the traction around the outside to keep that Alpine behind, and that's allowing Shazam in front to run away from them as they will be squabbling behind. Iron Shade now has to be the next driver to get past the roadblock that is called 50 Gen. Full TC, he can manage it, no issue. Yep, he can manage it with full TC. 2-0 wings will be nothing. I think I use like 10-0 at Spa. I don't know why I want so much front wing, but I love so much front wing at Spa. It just helps you turn in so fast, and when you turn in so fast, you get that real good exit. Especially in this chicane too. This chicane too, I gain a lot of time on people in this chicane in the second sector. So I feel like you can't use 0 at the back even with no traction. It's just like you're gonna have to need some wings in front. 2-0 is a crazy setup for as Iron Shin is off, Carly is gonna get by him. Iron Shin has fallen under the pressure of trying to get past 50 Gent. It's not as easy. It's not easy at all, as Shazam showed how difficult it was. It took a mistake from 50 for Shazam to finally clear him. But he now has that pace. He's caught 1 second up to Wacky Racer in front. Toberito has been overtaken by Pax around the outside, but Pax can't complete the move. Toberito will hold it on the inside to keep that kickstart behind. But look behind them, because the Mercedes of Porodan and Adam the Sweet have caught up to this fight. Adam the Sweet now with the quickest lap. Quickest lap from him, 157.9, as he switched back on the Mercedes, and he will complete that move. Adam the Sweet up to P13. Pax now wants to go side by side up to Oruj and Radion. Can they complete it? Oh my god, it's going off! Is it going into the walls of Burrito? He almost. Oh my god! It was almost a repeat of Lando Norris heading up the hill there. He almost slammed into the wall. Side by side going to that corner might not be the best option, but they tried it, and one of them almost died for it. As Adam the Sweet has damage on his wing, Pax also has damage on his wing, so they'll both be struggling, but we'll see who struggle more than the other. Agri Badger right behind Cowley. Iron Shin trying to reel in 50 Gent once again. Shazam is now 3.6 seconds behind his teammates and Wacky Racer, and Shazam is showing a lot of pace here. Don't write off this guy to get a podium in this one, because if you look right in front of him, you can see the view of the Red Bull, the Alpine, the Mercedes, and the Ferrari, all a few corners away from him, and Shazam is gaining on them. But a crucial development in this race, it has stopped raining. There's no more rain falling from the skies, and will dry tires be an option in this race? It is thrown off, and this is going to be very interesting. Will dry tires be an option for this one? I don't know. This is going to be quite difficult to see. And who will be the first to go in for those tires? And yep, it is. It is dry tires already. Batman now has to eat that 10-second penalty. He pulled away enough, about 7 seconds away from them. So he's going to be 3 seconds behind WBA when he does come out of the pits in this one. He will overtake and take the lead of this way. Actually, the Mercedes is going to take the lead of this way. He decides to stay out on those inters. Batman will now drop behind Wacky Racer and will have to recover his race here. Lucky for him, Rotti stays right behind him, very close to getting behind Rotti. But now on those hard tires, Batman is going to have to recover his way back to the lead of this race. Not too far ahead is the leading car, WBA, but we will see. The two drivers still on inters, Paradon and Toberito, definitely will be going into the pit at the end of this one. Iron Shin now getting past Shazam. Shazam, interesting. Looks like Shazam lost time. Carly with a 3-second penalty. Looks like Shazam lost time in his pit. Oh, double stack. Double stack from the Red Bulls has seen Shazam lose time. Maybe Shazam should have gone a lap later, but I don't know. Maybe you'll have lost the same amount of time staying out there on the inters. Wacky Racer will have the tires now as Paradan is going off. Actually, that's Piggy going off. And it means Wacky Racer will be getting ahead of him. 10-second penalty for Kez for cutting the corner. As Mr. Piggy now, as Batman round the outside of the Red Bull, he can't complete that move. He was pushed off by the Red Bull, but with the momentum, he's going to fly past Rotti and up to P6 he goes. Absolute foot to the floor there, Batman. Absolute flying. He had full bravery from him off the track, but he still planted the foot to get that move completed on the Red Bull. Very difficult to place to make a move, but he done it and he's completed it. But now the Ferrari is in the perfect position to win this race. Yes, the Alpine behind him is on those medium tires, but the mediums will fall off after 6-7 laps, and the hards will surely be the better tire, as Charlie now has gotten ahead of Shazam. Shazam was showing a lot of pace in the wet, but now that it's dry once again, that pace seems to have disappeared. 3-second penalty for Batman for cutting a corner there. That's going to make it even more difficult for him here to get the race win that he's looking for. 50 Gent right behind Batman, and this guy never gives up. And you would think that if two Kick-Saubers qualifying in the top 4 will be finishing ahead of him. You thought absolutely wrong. 50 Gent right behind Batman now. And with the 3-second penalty that Batman has, will he be able to run away from 50 Gent? I do not think so. It's going to be a difficult one to see. But we will see, as Batman will be gaining on Rossi now, who has no DRS. And Batman would easily get past the Red Bull on the inside. He gets up to P4. 3 more drivers in front of him that he has to chase down and overtake if he wants to get that race win. 50 Gent will want to clear 40 as soon as possible if he feels that he has the pace to do so. Toborito and Shazam are squabbling here, as Toborito will clear Shazam, and Shazam struggling more and more now as more and more drivers get by him. 3-second penalty for Toborito as he mounted the gravel there. As this race honestly has been very, very entertaining. Sikel is not catching the inters yet. Sikel, what? What do you mean Sikel is not catching the inters yet? Oh, that's what you said. Oh, I see. That was probably earlier. New Middleclad is doing well. Yeah, he's doing well. Parallel is doing well. Oh, it's P8. Nice. He had a nice recovery when it was wet. Oh, another 3-second penalty for Pac. So that's going to be 6 seconds for the Kick-Sauber now, as Cowley will get past Porodan there as overtaking the Mercedes on his debut, looking to finish in the top 10 in his debut, which would be a good finish for him. It's not going to be easy for sure, as Rotti now right behind okay, I just saw wow. He just ran into the back of Batman. Sorry, my headphones went off there. I noticed when it goes up. Very happy he's doing well. It's weird. So yeah, I know sound's gone. Do you hear it now? Yeah. Yeah, one sound. What I noticed, and I have my laptop in front of me. I know when it's gone. But yeah, Rotti going into the back of Batman, there surely got damage on his wing. Yep, he did. So that's going to see him struggle, get past Batman now. But as they head down the straight, he's going to try and use his ERS and his DRS, but he hasn't saved enough to be able to get past him. But because he has that damage on his car, he has this man behind him who is definitely going to chase him down now. And if 50 Gent can recover a top 5 in this race, that's another proper race from the Visa RB driver. Who anytime he races, it just shows why he's a proper driver to have in your team. Unlucky for Visa RB, he wasn't here last week, and the Kick-Sauber team could take full advantage of that. But Porodan now has overtaken Angry Badger. I believe that's what happened there. Shazam also has gotten ahead of, and Pax has also gotten ahead of Shazam. Pax has also getting ahead of Angry Badger. And looks like Angry might have made a mistake there. Pax now is putting pressure on Porodan, hits him with the switchback. He will slide past the Mercedes. With the Mercedes trying to hold it around the outside, he wouldn't, because Pax will clear him before they get to the corner. The Aston Martin will now clear him. The Shazam will now clear him. And it seems like the pressure of so much veteran drivers behind him has come into the laps of Porodan. But he's not doing a bad job. He's still trying to be as clean as possible. But it's going to be quite difficult on your debut race to race against veteran league racers. The likes of Angry Badger, Pax and Shazam around him, and showing what it takes to race in leagues like this. As Wacky Racer now leading the way, 2.9 seconds, 8 laps to go in this one. Does he have the pace to pull away enough that when his tires do fall off, he will still be fast enough to stay away from the Ferrari, who surely will gain on him? That is the question that we're asking ourselves now. Batman, does he have the pace to catch up to the drivers in front and overtake them and still finish on the podium in this one? That's another question we're asking ourselves. And this race is raising a lot of questions. 50 Jet now will have that DRS on the senior car in front, and to be an easy move for the Visa RB, who will pick the inside, take the place from Rotti, and head up to P5. He can now chase down Batman in front. If he has the pace, he can reel in the kick Sauber to make sure that he doesn't pull away that 3 seconds that 50 Gen desperately needs to finish ahead of both kick Sauber drivers, which would be a very, very good day for the Visa RB driver. Parks now right behind Tobarito. He wants to clear the Williams as soon as possible, because it seems like he might have slight better pace than the Williams in front of him. Cowley in that top 8, and this is a very interesting for the championship fight. The driver gaining the most right now on the championship fight will be Mr. Piggy if he does end up finishing ahead of Batman. 50 Gen showing that he has enough pace to keep close to Batman here. 1.7 seconds, 1.8 seconds. He was 2.1 seconds behind Batman when he did complete his overtake on Rotti, but he's reeling in the kick Sauber now, as Batman is 1.9 seconds away from him. He will need to push as much as he can to run away from 50 Gen, so he's not making it easy for him. But at this point of the race, it doesn't seem like Batman can recover a podium. That 10-second penalty that he decided not to take off when it was raining, surely coming back to bite him, but maybe not bite him as much because he is in P4. We'll see. As 50 Gen now with the quickest lap, 153.2. Quite a slow lap for Spa, as Rotti will go into the pits now. The damage, it seems like it's too much for the Red Bull, and I will see all these drivers get by him. Iron Shane now will try and chase down 50 Gent. Does he have the pace to catch the Visa RB? We will see. Batman, who needs to get into that 3-second buffer, he's falling out of it, so Mr. Piggy in front. WBA now, yes, I told you, he's starting to catch up to the medium runner of Wacky Racer. 4-5 laps, those mediums will start to fall off. And this is what he needs. Mr. Piggy wants to finish ahead of Batman for sure to continue his championship fight. But Wacky Racer wants to win the race. Is he in the championship fight? Is he in the top 6 is the question. Let me go see. As Nigeria are still 0-0 against Morocco in the AFCON semi-final. Senegal did win their game today against Egypt, and they will be going to the final. Alright. Iron Shin with a 3-second penalty now, as Wacky Racer is slowly losing time to WBA and Piggy behind. So we're definitely going to see a fight for the race win at the end there. So better get ready. It's going to be WBA versus Wacky Racer. Can WBA be the first Ferrari of the week to get the win? Or might be the first Ferrari of the season to get a win? Let's see if WBA is going to be that man. No pressure now, WBA. Drivers behind you all have penalties. You have better tires than the Alpine in front, and it's just a matter of time before you overtake him. Batman showing that he has more pace than 50 Gent, can run away from that 3 seconds, but 50 Gent is away from Iron Shin. So 50 Gent will certainly seal a P5 in this one, in a race that he's put no foot wrong, and he does that every time. As Parks now, there's more squabbling at the back. Parks will want to try around the outside of Tobarito, as they will make contact. Another 3-second penalty for Parks, who's losing more places now and is now down to P10. Looks like he might have gone into the back of the Williams of Tobarito there. And it's more woes for Parks, last week's race winner. Oh my God, Tobarito and Cowley. What is going on? Looks like Cowley tried it around the outside. Tobarito left him no space, and those two will lose even more places now. Unbelievable stuff happening there. Parks, luckily for him, can't recover what he just lost. And Angry Badger will be in front. Can Parks catch up to him? We will see. WBA now 1.2 seconds behind. Can he be a Scuderia Ferrari win? The first Ferrari win of the season. The first Ferrari win for a while. Did Ferrari win a race last season? If you guys can remember, the Ferrari win a race last season. I'm trying to remember the Ferrari team from last season. I don't think I remember them winning a race in any tier, if I'm not mistaken. So this might be the first Ferrari win in UFRL in ages. We know that Ferrari hasn't won in the 100% tier because none of the tier 3 drivers are going to win, if we're being real, and it's a tier 3 driver car. So can WBA be the first Ferrari winner in ages Can he be their Kimi Raikkonen to get the glory? And it's going to be a few laps to go in this one. He has that DRS. He had a strong race yesterday, finishing in P5 for the Ferrari team. And can he bring that win that they're desperately looking for at the end of this one? And now, on lap 17, WBA is going to be right behind him. Iron Shin gets another 3-second penalty. And he's going to get past Wacky Racer before they even get to turn 1. Is that a little bit of DRS dipping that we see from Wacky Racer? We do not know. But WBA now is going to have to use all his ERS to make sure that Wacky Racer doesn't get that overtake on him as they head up the straight now. Wacky Racer is going to be right behind as the Scuderia have to defend from that pink Alpine who is not gaining on him. It looks like that Ferrari has that straight line speed. The prancing horse is absolutely prancing here as the Mercedes will be gaining on the Alpine, but Alex can take the lead of the race and keep the lead of the race. And this is his moment now. Few laps to go. It's going to be his first win in UFRL. It's going to be their first win of the season on Ferrari. All he has to do now is keep his car straight. He has the tires. He has the advantage with no penalties. And the Ferrari team are going to finish off the best week you will ever see from a team, especially a team that wasn't a front runner for the longest time. But WBA is going to put the cherry on top of the cake. Let's not give him the commentator's curse because he still has a few laps to do so. Keep your cool. I know that's what everyone at Ferrari is saying today. But as we head to the back, no other fight is happening. We have Porodan putting pressure on Cowley. Will he have the pace to get past Cowley, who was pushed off track by Toborito? Or maybe it was the other way around. We will see when Toborito now with a 3-second penalty. We'll see when the stewards start to send those incidents in. But Angry Badger now is slowly going to be under pressure from Pax. We're slightly gaining on him now. And let's see the penalty situation here. So it's 3 for everybody, 9 for Pax and Angry Badger. So Pax just has to get past Angry to finish ahead of him. But he will still finish behind Shazam, who has a 3-second penalty. 6-second penalty for Iron Shin. So he definitely, no matter what, is not finishing ahead of 50 Gent. As Rotti will get past Poran up to P12. Poran losing more and more places as his struggles continue to mount. As Toborito has had a lot of moments in this race with other drivers, and we'll see what comes to it at the end of this one. Pax surely is showing that he doesn't have the pace to rear in Angry Badger. I thought Pax had damage on his wing. Seems like he doesn't. No, he doesn't have that one. Maybe he fixed it in the dry pit stop, if I'm not mistaken. But WBA has lost the place. WBA has lost the place to Wacky Racer and is now under pressure from Mr. Piggy. Is he throwing away a race win here? Looks like that might have been a mistake, or maybe the DRS from Wacky Racer. And the race is still on. Alpine wants another win of the season. Ferrari want their first win of the season. Piggy wants to claw his points back on the championship contender, who is right behind them. Piggy has a 3-second penalty. It's 6 seconds now. Batman surely has that podium. But now WBA still has a chance. Wacky Racer has a 3-second penalty. And that's that. That is that. All WBA has to do now is stick with these lads, and he's won the race. 50 Gent can still get a P4 in this race if he pushes now and gets into that 6-second buffer of Mr. Piggy in front. He can still finish in the top 4, and surely he will take my driver of the day if he does finish in the top 4. We will see at the end of this one. But Batman has recovered the podium. Can he recover one more place? He will have to get past Wacky Racer if he wants a P2 in this race, and it's going to be a very, very exciting one coming to the end of this race. I say 50 is now called Mr. Clutch. Yep, 50 Clutch, Mr. Clutch. Or a clutch gent. Actually, a clutch gent. He's such a clutch gent, isn't he? As they head up the hill now, WBA has the DRS, has the momentum. The Alpine is absolutely flashing. Does he have the ERS to defend from the Ferrari? Ferrari has more in his car. Piggy is not going to give it up though. Piggy on the inside. He's getting squeezed by the Ferrari. Can the Ferrari hold him around the outside? Yes, he can. But he's going to slightly go off there. Is he going to get a 3-second penalty? No, he will not. But Piggy will complete that overtake. The Ferrari knows that all he has to do is stay out of the penalties, and he's going to win this race. He doesn't have to fight it hard as he dives down the inside of the Mercedes there. He's still going to fight it hard. He's not going to give it up. He's going to keep fighting. He doesn't care about a 3-second penalty. Wacky Racer is pulled away out of that DRS now, but the old tires is not going to see him run away here. 50 Gent, with all the squabbling they have in the front, still will finish ahead of Mr. Piggy. But the question is, if they keep fighting, will he finish ahead of Batman? He still has a chance of a podium here if they absolutely keep squabbling in front, as Pax now is catching Angry Badger. He will need to get past Angry Badger if he wants a P7 in this race. But let's head back to the front as WBA in that Ferrari is going to clear Wacky Racer for sure, as long as he can get a good entry and exit going into turn 1. He has the momentum, he has the tires. No pressure from Mr. Piggy this time around, as Batman is putting pressure on him, but Batman is slowly falling out of that DRS, and he doesn't want to fall out too much, because if he looks in his mirrors, he will see that Visa RB chasing them down. A lot of penalties here today. Visa RB is still going to get that 2 extra points for no penalties, and I know they need that. They absolutely need that after a DNF yesterday from one of the drivers, as Pax now gets the quickest lap, 1:47.9. Kick Sauber would need that from Pax. Nice one from him. I would actually love that. As 50 Gen is slightly falling off here, he needs to push to stay in that 6-second buffer of Mr. Piggy, but WBA can still stay right behind Wacky Racer. Wacky Racer is doing a great job here. WBA still has to think about it. Maybe, just maybe, the Alpine has something to appeal, but the red Mercedes wants to make the move back on the Ferrari like he did a lap earlier. Wants to get that place in the same corner, but he can't complete it. And they are going to start the penultimate lap at the end of this one. 6 seconds on Mr. Piggy's car. He's still not giving it up though. Maybe these drivers will have penalties to appeal. WBA definitely has to be thinking about that. I know his TP and Roy now will be thinking about that. He has to think about, you have the fresher tires. Wacky Racer in front has older tires than you. You have the fresher tires, and you have the advantage of no penalties. But you do not know if the driver in front of you is going to appeal his penalty. So he has to think about the move for sure. He's now 8 tenths away from Mr. Piggy, so the pressure is not too much on the Ferrari. So he has to set up the move. It's now or never for the Ferrari. Winning a race is one thing, but crossing the line in front is even better. And the Ferrari surely wants to do that. In the penultimate lap of this race, he's going to have the DRS right behind the Alpine. He can use that DRS to draw him a bit closer before they get to turn 1. And coming out of turn 1 now, he has the momentum, and here we go. Piggy is going to be right behind him. Piggy is definitely going to be going for it. 50 Gent is back in that 6-second buffer, and here we go now. Up the hill they go. WBA will activate his ERS and activate the DRS, and as the wheels turn around, he's going to be gaining on that Alpine. Will it be enough as they head down to the corner? No, it will not. It's going to be another lap of the Alpine staying ahead of the Ferrari, but it's one more lap. One more opportunity for the Ferrari to get past that Alpine. He still has the win in the bag, but does he want to cross the line first? We'll see exactly what happens. As Dex says in the chat, they need to dump 50. I mean, they need to dump Wacky with those dead tires. Absolutely, they need to, but they are not. As Pax has gotten past Shazam, he will finish ahead of Shazam, Angry Badger in this one. But will he finish ahead of Shazam is the question. It looks like he will also do so, because Shazam has lost a lot of time to them. So Pax will recover a P7 for the Kick Sauber team. But the question is here, where will 50 Gent finish at the end of this one? They're all very close to each other now. As round the outside, Batman is trying to move on Mr. Piggy, but can't complete it there. I thought that's where they will make contact and give the chance for 50 Gent to gain time on them. He is gaining time on them. He's now 4.2 seconds behind, but they will begin the last lap of the race right here. It's Spa. It's round 13. It's tier 3. It's a tier that no one can ever predict. You can get new race winners every week. And on the final lap of this one, Ferrari have had a good day. Slater, the DNF right at the start of the race. They will have loved to see 2 drivers finish in this one, and surely would have seen both of them finish on the podium. But Mr. Pig is going to go into the back of the Ferrari. He still gives him a bit of a bump there. That will give him the momentum. Batman is going to be side by side with Mr. Piggy now. Will they go side by side up the hill here? Batman, will he go side by side with Mr. Piggy up the hill? Yes, he will. But Mr. Piggy will keep that place. 50 Gent now is going to be gaining even more on them. Batman wants to complete that move on his championship contender. On the inside he goes. WBA doesn't have the momentum to get past Wacky Racer, but as all that is happening, 50 Gent might be able to recover the podium here if they keep squabbling in front. You can see he's now into that 3 seconds. One more second for 50 Gent to recover a podium if he can. But WBA still can't get past Wacky Racer in the Alpine, who's absolutely fine here. Toborito has gotten past Shazam and his teammate Rotti, both getting past Shazam. Iron Shield with a 3-second penalty as Piggy will go off once again. Batman now is 3.2 seconds away from 50 Gent. 2/10 left. Can 50 Gent recover a podium? This is going to be a crazy ending. WBA in that Ferrari. Has he saved enough ERS to get across the line first? Piggy is off track there. 2.7 seconds as 50 Gent is now into the podium. And what a climatic race at the end. 50 Gent is going to recover your podium. Batman is still trying to get past Mr. Piggy, who is not allowing it to happen. These two have fought all the way to the end, the championship contenders. But when they cross the line, Wacky Racer is going to cross the line first. But it's going to be the Ferrari's day. Grazie ragazzi, as WBA wins at Spa. 50 Gent to recover the podium as Wacky Racer will finish in P2, P4 for Batman and P5 for Mr. Piggy. Iron Shield will take P6, Pax will come in P7, Angry Badger in P8, Toborito is going to take P9. Oh, will he? Does he have more penalties than Rotti behind? It seems like he does so, and Rotti will surely finish ahead of him in this one, I think, as he's letting his teammate know. Rotti finish ahead of him, Toborito in P10, Shazam will also take Paradon in P10, Paradon, gets a top 10 on his debut, and a good debut for him, as Adam defeats on Cowley, P13, P11, P15 for Kez. As Kez and Fato actually are fighting to the end here, and will the Aston Martin get past the Williams before they answer as puncture. Is that a puncture on the left, right of Kez? Am I seeing right? Is that a puncture? It looks like his left, right is puncture. It looks so weird, but it can't be because he's going so fast down the straight here as he's going to be getting on him now, the Aston Martin. Will he go for the move on the inside? He will. He will dive down the inside there, Fatu. He will make the play. Oh my God, where are they? Where are they? As Kesnator gets a 3-second penalty, Fatu will finish ahead of him as Benz will round up the grid. What a race that is. It's going to be WBA for his first win of the season and the first win for Ferrari. Wacky Racer will take that P2. But your driver of the day is going to be that man again, 50 Gent, on another day where he beats both Kick Saubers, even though he doesn't have the pace to do so. That just shows you what it is to have racecraft. The Ferrari celebrates. It's going to stand at top of the podium. Grazie ragazzi, grazie. Mi senti? Grazie. Forza Ferrari, dai. They're celebrating because we know the champagne is going to taste the best at the Scuderia Ferrari camp. WBA wins his first race of the season in a massively entertaining race here at Spa. It is tier 3 again. It's the tier of wonders. And we thank you guys for tuning in. Driver of the day is Porodon. There you go. Porodon gets your driver of the day. If not for 50 Gent, just being an absolute gent, Porodon would have gotten my driver of the day. But he gets to get in driver of the day and he can hold his head up. Cowley gets the fastest lap. And WBA is your race winner. So let's get everything that was needed. Let's get that race director because I know people definitely need it in this one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, he kicked me. I thought he was kicking me out when the timer is done. There you go. What a good race, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. I've been Willie Fernandez. We have been UFRL. Good night and goodbye.